When I decided to open my restaurant, my main concern was rent. So what I did, I went into locations, different areas, looking for where I can find a place where the rent was affordable. That was a big mistake. I'll be honest with you. That was a terrible mistake. Um, when before you start, you have this expense um, sheet that you write up, the cost, the budget, how much you plan to spend a month uh, for food and your rent and your utility bills and all that type of stuff. You just have a list of everything that you plan to pay every month. Of course, you don't have the exact amount, but you have that list that you can look at and you can add on and remove. So I had a list that include the maintenance, the rent, the utilities, um, the employees, how much I have to pay, insurance, all that good stuff that comes with running a restaurant. So guess what happened? I found a location um, in a development in a residential area, just homes around. And it was just a location that had like six different um, businesses. One was a beauty salon. One was a deli store. There was a church there. There was a barber shop and an insurance, and of course, the restaurant. So I was like, yes, this rent is beautiful. Oh, this is it. Let's sign this lease. And I was excited because the rent was perfect. Oh, I can afford this. Even on slow days, if things don't work out the way I should, I can pay this rent. This rent is great. All right. So I drove around the neighborhood and I saw all these homes. I said, yes, my future customers, they're going to be coming. How excited. And I went further down, maybe a mile or so in the development, couple of miles, and I saw more homes and I saw these apartment buildings. And I say yes. And then there was a bus. There was a bus stop. So buses were coming, and I was like, perfect. Well, it didn't work out like I thought. Um, Location is very important. And this is experience talking. Don't worry about the rent. Well, think about the rent. But what happened was it took me years. It took me years. I would say a good 2 to 3 years. Yeah. For me to see growth in my restaurant. It was the location. It was the location. I expected the people in the neighborhood. I put signs out in front. I expect that when they came and they saw if they're going to church and the buses can see the sign, the lit up lights, I thought that was going to be it. Location, location, location. You want heavy traffic. You want to be on a main road. You don't need to be backed up into no neighborhood. I'm just being truthful. The rent was good, but see, I didn't know any better. I wasn't around people that have opened restaurants. I've read books and it talks a lot about, the costs and things of that of a restaurant, the ins and outs. And I saw something talking about your location. But to experience it, location is so important. So what if I had paid $2,000 extra a month. Would it have been worth it? Yes. It would not have taken me so long to build a customer base, a client. It would not have taken me so long. It took me years because people told other people and they came and so on and so on and so on. But it took years. And another reason was it was a Spanish Caribbean restaurant. In a neighborhood? No. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you want to open up an African restaurant or a restaurant from Argentina or some kind of, listen, don't do that. Don't you go, stay on the main roads, traffic, heavy traffic, cars passing. Let there be a McDonald's there or a Burger King or a Popeye or a grocery store. Big mistake. Big mistake. So that's what we're talking about today. Sometimes, you're looking at everything else. You're looking at the cost. What is this going to cost? What is that going to cost? And you're happy with the rent. But where are you located? Who are the people that you're serving? What is the demographic? What is going on? What's going on there? Now, across the highway, there was a Catholic church. But where the Catholic church was, and there's a lot of traffic, they could not see where I was located. I wasn't in, you had to come in to that development to see my store, my restaurant. So if I would have done anything different and if I would advise anyone different, don't worry so much about the rent. It's easier said than done because you have to include that. But sometimes you might have to pay that $4,000, especially if you know that you have a good product and you just need the people to try it and you are going to get that traffic. Invest in that extra 2,000 or 3,000 or whatever because you're going to make that back up. But when you are off somewhere and no one knows that you're there and you are waiting for customers to come and try your food, let me tell you, it took years, but once they came and they tried it and they liked it, the business took off. I had a very good product, very good food. So that wasn't a problem. It took off, but it took 2 to 3 years. It took time. And you don't have that time to waste now. You want to get in there and make money because you're in business to make money. You're not in business to sit around and wait for people to come. You're not in business open that when the bus passed by the time they're coming home from work, they're already stopped and picked up their food, especially on weekends. They're not going to come into the neighborhood now and check you out. On their way, they order their food, so they're coming in to go home. There's a lot behind that. So when you are planning on getting your restaurant location is very important. To me, that's number one. You have to have a good location. I know my food was good because it's the Caribbean and Spanish, and I was in catering for years. So the problem was not the food. The problem was not that I took pride. It was my baby. I was 100% professional and the place was clean. That was not the problem was the location. The problem was the location. So if I could do it over again, I would pay that extra $2,000, that extra $2,500 because I know the traffic was worth it. That's why you see a lot of business fail because they're in the wrong location. They're in the wrong location doing the right thing, but you're in the wrong location. So it's going to take years. And that's one of my biggest mistakes. Hopefully and prayerfully, this will help you in your decision. of opening your restaurant or your cafe or your little spot. Get in the right location, figure out the expenses, and make up your mind to pay. And the money you will see it, especially if you have a good product, you will see the profit so much sooner. Again, thank you for watching my channel, my restaurant diary. And just do it in your heart. If you want to open that restaurant, go for it. Continue to watch and share. If you know anyone is getting ready to open a restaurant, let them know about this channel. I am here to tell you all the mistakes that I've made. I am not keeping anything a secret. I thank God for all the mistakes that I made. I thank Him for all the experiences. And if I can help someone avoid a lot of things that I went through, that's what I'm here for. So you have an amazing day and thank you.